Welcome back to Turf Talk Morning Line Edition. Ed DeRosa alongside Joe Kristifuk here at Arlington for the International Festival of Racing. And Joe, before we make our picks, you have to pick who's actually going to get bet. You're the morning line maker here, not only for Festival Day, but every day. Of course, you know, extra eyes on the big three Grade 1 races Saturday. What were your challenges for these fields?
The number one challenge is the Europeans and how they fit in against the Americans. And in some of these years, you look and you see these Europeans and you know they've got class, you know they've got talent, you know they've got connections. This year's overall group of Europeans, not quite as good as years past, but you also have the names like Dermot Weld and Aidan O'Brien, and you know some of these horses have upside, but you also know that Americans aren't familiar with them. So trying to put them in, whether it's 10 to 1, 15 to 1, or 20 to 1, there is a difference between those three odds, and obviously less with some of the horses, so you just try to figure out where they fit.
Yeah, and I think the European contingent this year, and I've seen some, questioning the talent level. I think part of it too, though, is with Chad Brown coming in, we know his program can focus on turf racing. He's known for that, as was his mentor, Bobby Frankel. I just think Americans are getting better. Now, do I think our best are as good as Europe's best? Probably not. But it does seem like the gap is narrowed between the second tier in Europe and the top tier here. And we see that with races like this, and it makes your job more challenging. Sorry, I almost broke your iPad there. But yeah, any 10 or 20 to 1 that you can recall stick out as one you're nervous about, that you think, man, this one maybe goes off less and makes me look foolish, or maybe even in the opposite direction, a horse you made 6 or 8 to 1 that you're worried about gets completely ignored?
Yeah, I would say Platinum Warrior, who I made 10 to 1 in the Secretariat. There's a chance that he could go off a little bit higher, but he does have some European class, and he does have a Group 3 win over 1.25 miles. The one in the million that concerns me a little bit about maybe going off at lower odds than the 12 to 1 I made him is Century Dream. There have been some people that have talked about the fact that he fits this race well. Class-wise, he just missed in the Group 1 Queen Anne, 2 starts back, finishing 4th. But he was 20 to 1 that day. He's been running over straight miles in a lot of his recent races. So how that translates to 1.25 miles, the American style of racing, I'm not sure. If he's less than 12 to 1, that's a horse I'm going to completely fade.
Well, he did work today, so to speak. Not sure if it'll actually be published as a work, but got to see him in action this morning, and don't want to spoil our picks that will be released Friday, but I'm giving him a long look. But I agree with you. I mean, 12 to 1, it's easy to get excited. Then all of a sudden he's everyone's sexy choice and you're less excited. So we'll see. It is a good competitive group, and I expect the superfecta to pay really well, even if maybe the favorite wins. I can't imagine it'll chalk out in all spots. So I think it's a great betting race.
Yeah, Oscar Performance 3 to 1. I kind of threw it out there on Twitter, and there are some people that have said, 9 to 5 on Oscar Performance, which I think would be way too low. I was very conservative in the Arlington Million line because I do think there's several horses that can win. That's why you'll see 9 to 2, 5 to 1, 6 to 1, 6 to 1, couple of 8 to 1s, leaning in a cautious nature in the Arlington Million odds, just because I think it's a great betting race.
Yeah, no, we agree there, and I think with the Europeans, you do get some of that, the question mark, where people like certain international horses, and if Oscar Performance is 9 to 5, the price is just going to be too high on others that people won't let go at 8 to 1, for instance. So I agree with you. I think it ends up pretty balanced when John Dooley sends them on their way.
I think if you're not on Oscar Performance, you're going to get the price you like on whoever you do like.
Well, I like that, and I think he's fadeable as the favorite for sure, so we agree there. And you mentioned Sister Charlie in the other video is leanable on the Beverly D. What did you do with having 4 Chads in there, and how do you, she's definitely the favorite, no question, but how do you kind of suss which ones are going to take money and what his intentions are?
Well, you can't lean on this as a morning line maker, but her last 2 races, she was basically 1 to 2 in even money against similar competition. Yeah. This race is tougher. Of course, 4-Star Creek did beat her 2 starts back, but that was a stretch free-for-all into a fast pace, and Sister Charlie was odds on that day. So she's a defined 9 to 5 morning line favorite. 4-Star Crook, 9 to 2 second choice. The other Chads, 8 to 1, and then the long shot of his 4 as well. So Sister Charlie's going to be the favorite, and I'm not afraid of putting her in at 9 to 5.
Yeah, no, I agree. But quick reminder, the other Chad won the United Nations at a big price, so it does happen sometimes. And Aiden O'Brien, of course, with Athena is interesting. I'm eager to see how she gets bet. You made her
Me
the third
too.
choice?
Second choice, 3-1.
Okay, 3-1.
Yeah, 4-star Crook's the third choice, 9-2.
Second choice of the Chads.
Second choice
All
of
right.
the Chads.
Well,
yeah.
as always, interesting to see where the money comes from and where it ends up when they're sent on their way. And great 3 races, though, for the festival.
Yeah, and then you throw the pucker up in the 4th race of that pick 4. I got a long shot I like in there. And again, lots of bettable horses, tough morning line to make. Beyond Blame, the slight favorite in that race, but a great race to end the pick 4, and it should be a great sequence.
100%. All right, well, we'll have our pick 4 plays up on twinspires.com. You'll have some undercard plays as well, which might include the pucker up, and you also discussed your morning line iterations as you made that line on Tuesday after the draw. All that on Twin Spires. We'll put the blogs in the description. Going to be a great week.
Yeah, looking forward to it. Not only to see the star power, but really uncork that Twin Spires account, make it work for us.
Yep. Sounds good to me. All right, twinspires.com for all your wagering needs. Join us this week.